Hey, it's your girl Dom. Welcome back to my channel. So if you've been hearing a lot of people talking about like government contracting and it just sounds like a different language, it sounds scary, it sounds like a foreign language, this video is for you. I'm going to break it down like we in the third grade, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you. At the end of this video, you're gonna truly understand exactly what the government buys. In this particular case, as y'all know, we talk about call centers, so you're gonna understand a little more in depth on it. Okay, like always, if you feel like this video was helpful, make sure to like, comment, let me know if it was helpful, let me know what questions you have, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button so you can stay on the right side of YT, okay? So first thing is first, right? What is government contract, right? So literally it is an agreement between the government and a business such as yourself on what they're needing, right? They need something and you all are going to agree that you're going to do the work, okay? So ultimately they pay businesses to do the work versus them doing it, okay? So let's break it down a little because as y'all know, I like giving out examples to make it make sense, okay? So for an example, the school cafeteria, right? They need milk. Now, are they going to go like find the cows, raise the cows, or are they going to buy a milk supply who can offer what they need, right? So they're going to do that, right? Another thing is maybe your road need fixing, right? The city, your state, whatever it is, wherever you at, they need the road fixed. Are they going to go grab the shovels or are they going to actually hire a construction company to do the work? So ultimately, again, right? Cafeteria needs the milk, buy a milk supplier. The government or the state needs a road fix, hire a construction company. So literally, again, it's going to be an agreement between the government, the organization, the agency with your business on what you can do. A lot of call center contracts I see real quick is agencies needing to hire call center for after hour services. This is one of the biggest contracts that I be seeing because literally people need after hours, right? Like as we know, a typical business close at 5 p.m., right? What happens if it's an emergency? Like what happens if I need to speak to somebody after 5 p.m., right? So literally a lot of times they are looking for, especially after hour services, so that way their customers can still be supported after the actual hours close, right? For an example, medical office maybe, right? Medical office probably closed 5, 6 p.m. What if somebody need to call in after 5 p.m., right? Do they have to wait for tomorrow? Is an emergency? So those are one of the things that you're going to see a lot is after hour services, okay? And it's good because a lot of people like working at night. People be hitting me up like, look, did you got an overnight job? So literally this is really good tea. So ultimately, to sum up, that first thing is literally government contracting is just the government stay in Alexa. Sorry, I be getting distracted by Alexa, but literally the government stay in, hey, we need help. Who want the job? This is what we need. Who want the job? Come get it, right? So that's literally going to be the first thing, okay? Now, the next thing that a lot of people ask is, the main type of contracts, right? Like, and I know a lot of people are in the contracting world and field. I'm not really too much savvy on that part, but I do know my call center stuff, okay? So just to give general information, again, I don't specialize in all contracts, just the call center part of it, but literally some of the services or some of the type of contracts you may run into, you may see is for one products, right? Products is literally like paper, uniforms, computers, chairs, things of that. The government is looking for products, right? Maybe the government or maybe a medical office in Georgia or something is starting a medical office. They need 20 chairs or something like that, right? They're not going to go out and go find the chairs. They're going to say, hey, we need 20 chairs. We need this, we need that. Can y'all find the chairs for us? Can y'all buy the chairs? Things of that, right? How much do you charge for 20 chairs? Okay. Next things is services, right? So this is where we come in at as call center services. So they need help with services, right? Call center, maybe cleaning, maybe IT support, lawn care, things of that nature. That's going to be your service contracts. Okay. Then the third thing that you have, and again, it's way more contracts, but again, for demonstration purposes, on this video, we're going to keep it short and simple. Construction. Construction is a big contracts that I see a lot as well. So many people, so many governments, agencies, all of that, they're needing constructions all day long. If you ever drive I don't care where you at. If you ever drive, you know you're going to see one type of construction site somewhere. And you're going to be like, dang, they always doing construction. So constructions is normally like building and fixing things, right? Like roads, school, bridges, whatever the case is, right? So think of it like this, okay? To break it down a little, right? If you hire someone to maybe mow your lawn, right? That's a service contract. You are hiring someone to provide the service, right? Now, if they go out maybe and actually buy a new lawnmower and you're just like, hey, I don't know what type to buy. I don't even know where to start. And I don't even want that hassle of going to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever to get it. I'm just going to write up a contract and say, hey, how much would you charge to find me a new lawnmower? Things of that, right? That's going to be more of a product contract, right? They are providing products for that contract. And then maybe if you pay someone to build a new deck. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, which I just actually did that recently. But if you pay somebody to build a new deck, that's going to be a construction contract, okay? So again, those are just examples of types of contracts. Again, we are going to be going into call center contracts, okay? So now that you all understand kind of exactly what government contracting is, the purpose of it, the type of contracts, what we're going to talk about is how did this actually works, right? Like, how does this work? Like, this makes sense. I'm interested. I understand. But Dom, how does this work? So the simple version is it's literally 3 steps, right? The government says what they want. They're going to post something, they're going to draft something, they're going to submit something such as an RFP for the most part. Now, there are like 10 different contracts. You got like RFP, RFIs, RFQs, all that good stuff. But to keep this short, the government, the agencies, the organizations, they're literally going to post something on procurement sites and websites, right? And I also have another video as well talking about procurement sites and things of that, so make sure to check out that video as well. But literally the government is going to say what they need, okay? They're going to say what they need. They're going to draft it up in a fancy document, which is considered our RFP. So don't be scared. It's just a fancy document to look and smell a little good, but it's not bad, okay? They're going to draft it in an RFP of exactly what they need. Businesses such as yourself pretty much gonna raise your hand and be like, look, I can do this. And ultimately, you would do that by not physically raising your hand, but just literally by saying, hey, I can do this, and you're going to submit your bid, your proposal, okay? So you're going to respond to the actual bid in regards to your proposal, which you can do. And of course, it's a little more deeper than that, right? But ultimately, the business is going to say, hey, this is what I need. You are going to raise your hand and say, hey, this is what I can give you. And then the government is literally going to pick who they feel will be most best for the actual job, right? And they have different ways of, understanding why they picked and who they picked. A lot of times on the RFP, it is going to have like a evaluation criteria section where it's going to show you how you're going to be scored, okay? So literally it may show you, hey, for experience, just 5%, right? For your cost, 30%, for how well you wrote the proposal or your technical response and things of that. So literally pretty much sometimes it can be you was just the lowest bid, right? We took the cheapest bid, right? And then sometimes it may be other reasons, maybe the best value. Like maybe I liked the way she explained how she was going to get the job done, right? I told her that I needed a call center or answering service for after hours. We want professional workers. We want you all to answer the calls within 5 minutes. And I mirrored that language and wrote my proposal based on exactly what they needed and let them know that, hey, we will be staffed with professional agents. They're going to be answering the calls within 2 minutes, things of that. So sometimes they like to say, you know what, this may be the best value. Like she is going to execute this contract. Like based on how she explained it, she understands what we need. She understands the importance of what we need. So even though maybe her cost was a little higher, we believe in her because the value that she can provide to our company is great, right? So again, it's different factors to who actually win, okay? So again, use an example. Maybe just say like the teacher say, hey, you all, we need like a poster for the science fair or something, right? Everybody in the classroom gonna do their thing, right? They're gonna do their posters. The teacher gonna collect everybody posters and pretty much figure out who he or she want to use for that poster for the science fair. Like what makes sense? What made sense pretty much, right? So let me know if y'all still following along. I'm trying to get y'all to keep up with me. I'm trying to get y'all to keep up with me. I don't want to overwhelm y'all too much. So why is this a big deal, right? Some of you all may be like, you know what? Why is this a big deal? Like, why does this even matter, right? Now, honestly, truthfully, why it matters is because literally the government spends billions of dollars every year buying services, buying things, hiring businesses, right? We all know, like, where is the tax money going, right? Like, what budget does the government have and where is it going? Literally, they're using billions of dollars yearly to pay businesses for services such as that. And the best part about it, because I know a lot of you all be like, the big companies winning. Like, is this for small business owners? Like, the good news about all of this is they're literally required to give a lot of those funds to small businesses, right? So you don't have to be like a Fortune 500 company to win a contract. You don't have to be the big dogs to win the contract. Literally, contracts you will see on some contracts saying, hey, this is a set aside only for small business owners, right? Like, you can't have over 500 and 600 employees. Like, we don't want that, right? Because we do know that sometimes business companies, or bigger companies, should I say, and bigger businesses, sometimes they're not really about the true value. They're about like, hey, let me get to the bag, let me get to the money, right? So they do value and appreciate small businesses where they know that, hey, you have some type of value to give us. You're just not a big company where you're just trying to chase contracts. You got 20 contracts under your belt. Like, so who's liable or likely to get the job done more efficiently, right? Somebody that got 20 contracts, that's juggling 20 contracts, or maybe somebody that maybe have one or don't even have contracts at all. So if you're feeling like, hey, I have to be a huge company, X that out right now, because you don't. And honestly, many contracts and call center contracts is literally designed for small businesses. Like, some of the contracts that I run across, they're like, hey, we only get 30 calls a month. 30 calls a month, like, I can do that myself. Like, where do I sign up for, right? Like, literally, you just need one agent. Technically, you don't want to do one agent because, of course, you have to worry about staff and such as if that agent goes to break, if that agent goes to lunch, if they call out. So if you never want to staff only one agent, but again, I'm going into a little more details than I should be. And I teach all of this in the staffing part of my actual trainings and stuff, how to actually properly staff your call center as well. But again, I say all of that to say is literally I've seen contracts where they're only getting one call a day, 2 call a days, right? So you don't need to be a big company. You don't have to have a big team. You don't even have to have really a team at the moment, because a lot of times you don't want to hire before you even get the contract. You don't really want to hire. You may want to like have a game plan of, hey, I do have a pool of people. And even with myself, I have thousands and thousands, about right now 8,000-9,000 people that's interested in working from home. So I do have a community of people that's ready to work, so that's good. But by chance you don't, and then for people that use the Arise platform, leverage your people that may applied and maybe didn't start on the Arise platform, couldn't start because of the restrictions. Literally make sure you gather their information so that way you can be ready, right? But ultimately, just to answer some myths and questions and stuff like that, you don't need to have your call center set up right now. You don't need to have the agents hired, trained. You don't need to have the software, because ultimately, when it comes down to call center contracts, you're going to want to hire and build your team based on the actual call center contract that you win, right? Just say you win a call center contract where they already have the software, the systems. Literally, they're hiring you for answering services, which means you only need a VoIP system, which is a phone system, right? A cloud-based phone system where we don't have the hard phones, right? Like, so literally what you want to do is, some contracts literally just say, hey, all we need is for your agents to answer these calls when it come in. We're going to give you our portal. We're going to give you our systems. We're going to allow them to log into our systems and log the call or do this or look at the information. Use an example. I seen a call center, I want to say it was for Georgia. This call center, without giving too much information, this call center was literally, what they needed was people to answer customer service or customers' inquiries when they called in about Well, why I got a brain freeze? Court. I'm like, hold on. I look at so many. I'm like, which one was this for? In Georgia, be having a lot. But yeah, I seen one where they was literally like, hey, we just need people to answer the calls when people call in about their court status or things, right? Like, when is my court day? What room is my court, date in? And, things of that. So literally they say, hey, we have the system. We're going to have the calendar so that way your people can literally go on the calendar, put their name in, and pretty much give them the information. Hey, I see your court date is this date in room 202, whatever the case is, right? So in that particular case, you don't even need what you thought you needed, right? You just need people answering the phone. So again, I say that when it comes down to like, do I need like software right away? Do I need to hire people? I would say wait, don't hire, because you don't even know what you're going to need, who you're going to need, and you don't know what software is a system. There's no point of paying for softwares each month and you don't even have a contract yet. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, and I hope that clarifies it, because I do know the number one thing that a lot of people, sorry, I'm getting a call. I'm sorry, y'all. Got a phone call, important phone call, but not sure where exactly was at, but pretty much ultimately when it comes down to hiring or having the proper tools, a lot of people ask like, hey, do I need the actual software? Do I need this, buy stuff right now? Do I need to hire people right now before I even start bidding on contracts? And I will say no. It's a good idea to have in mind, right? So just kind of, briefly have in mind like how I'm gonna hire. Also have in mind like, hey, what softwares I'm gonna use, right? If I need a VoIP system, I have a list of VoIP system providers. If I need a CRM system, I have a list of CRM systems. If I need payroll, HR, workforce management, have all of that in mind. On if you need it, you have a list of the providers you're gonna probably use and things of that, right? But again, it doesn't make sense to have this in place and pay for it because you don't know what contracts you're going to get, okay? So always hire and build your call center around the contract that you're going to be awarded. So again, I hope that makes sense. I hope that clarifies it, because a lot of people say like, I don't have a lot of, I don't have anything right now. Also, another thing, a lot of times you will see the contracts is going to let you know, like, they're going to let you know when they are anticipating on awarding the contract, and also when is it going to start, right? So that gives you an idea. A lot of contracts start months after it's awarded. So they may say, hey, we're going to award you the contract. You won the contract. We are going to start these services 4 months from now, 5 months from now. That gives you 4 to 5 months to get everything in order, hire your people, get your softwares and things of that, okay? So don't be alarmed. Don't be scared. Take the weight off of you if that's what you was just like, oh, I feel much better now, right? Another thing is a lot of people say like, is contracts only for like construction or things of that, right? No, again, literally it is for call center services, products, services, goods, all that good stuff, okay? So you still in there when it comes down to contract. And then, is it possible for me to win, right? If you're just like, I don't have no experience, I've never done this before, is it possible for me to win, right? Now, I will say, when people start businesses and start things, nobody's new at it, right? Like, you learn by practice, you learn by bidding, right? You learn by winning. So literally you can start. Like, some contracts you will even see on there, as I explained earlier in this video and another video as well. Experience, hey, it's good to maybe have experience, but you also want to think of experience two ways, right? Do you have experience as far as winning a call center contract, or do you have experience in the actual industry itself, right? So if you don't have experience with winning contracts, but you have industry in the call center, you have experience in the call center industry, gear your proposal towards what you have knowledge of. Don't gear your proposal towards what you did and what you didn't do if you know you didn't do it. Gear it towards what I can do for you, right? What I can do for you is provide 20 agents. What I can do for you is provide, satisfaction customer service. What I can do, so again, it's all about how you word your proposal and mirror their language as well, okay? So X that out if you was thinking I can't do it because I don't have experience. It's contracts that will say like, hey, and then you have a Q&A section where you can ask questions and they would answer. Sometimes if you feel like this is a really good contract, but before I even go further, I want to know, am I going to be able to submit this, right? That can be a question like, are y'all open Are y'all open to new business owners that may have not won a contract yet, as long as we can provide the work and things of that? Another thing that you want to think about, it is when it comes down to experience, you can also go a route where you're going to hire subcontractors, okay? You're going to be a prime contractor. So you're going to win the contract. You're going to be the prime contractor, and then you can sub out work, okay? And what that means, and again, not making this too long, but priming sub, right? You're prime, so you actually won the contract. Now you're gonna hire people that have the experience when you can use their experience, right? So maybe you will hit up, sorry y'all, maybe you a message or send something to a company that you know, right? BBL or something like that. That shouldn't, I don't even know why I use that as an example, but BWX or something, right? Like, hey, I'm interested in, offering some call services, and I see that you're a call center, blah, 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 blah. Can we partner up? Things of that. And again, it's way more to that, so I don't want to get too much in details with that. But to answer people's question as far as, do I need experience? No, you don't need experience to bid on contracts, okay? And again, just really recapping the experience part, because I know that scares some of you all a lot, is when it comes down to experience, you can hire subcontractors and use their experience. You can also gear your proposal based on the knowledge that you have. I'm pretty sure some of you all worked in the call center, and if not, y'all know some type of information about call center, right? So use that to write your proposal. Don't talk about what you have not done. Talk about what you can do, okay? And then also another thing that you can leverage as well is asking these questions, right? Before you even waste your time bidding, ask them like, hey, are y'all open, or are y'all beginner? Are y'all willing to accept people that don't have past performance? Whatever the case is, right? Another thing is, I be having so much stuff I want to talk about, y'all. Oh yeah, another thing is looking at the evaluation criteria, okay? See on the criteria of how they're going to evaluate the actual proposal. See how many points is the actual experience points. Like if it's 10 points out of 100, you still got it. You still can qualify for 90 points of it, right? So, and then the last thing that I wanted to mention as far as experience goes, what did I want to say? Oh yeah, contracts will tell you. Like, and a lot of contracts may say like, hey, the contractor or the vendor should have experience, or we, want experience and things of that. Just because they say they want it does not mean that like, hey, this is a must, right? And then some will automatically say like, experience isn't needed as long as you can do the job and perform the services, right? So that's another thing that a lot of people get choked up on, is the experience part. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that was helpful and cleared your mind and gave you a little bit of peace. So I think that's all that I wanted to cover in this video. Again, if you truly felt that this video was helpful, make sure to comment, let me know that it was helpful. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that way you stay on the right side when it comes down to call center government contract for call center service. And just to quickly recap, okay? Government contracting, right? Literally is basically the government shopping for products and service. They're shopping around. They're like, hey, we need this done. Who can do this? You are going to be responding in a form of, writing your actual proposal, letting them know what you can do, how you can get the job done. And yeah, that's it. And the number one key as well is anybody can do this. Don't get discouraged. I don't care what nobody's saying. Anybody can literally do this. I will say that the most important thing with actually doing this is making sure that you get the right coach, right? Making sure you get the right mentor. Making sure you just get the right help. They don't necessarily have to be a coach or a mentor, but as long as they know their stuff, as long as they really can break it down to you, help you out, just ultimately invest in yourself and make sure that you all understand truly how to write proposals, because that's the biggest thing. It is paperwork, right? So you need to know the language that they use, right? You need to learn exactly and know how to read it, how to read between the lines sometimes, right? How to do your course proposal, all that good stuff, okay? So if anybody if anybody feel like, hey, this is really, really good, like I love this, I have more questions, again, write your questions in the comments. You can always reach out to me. Yeah, and I also have a bunch of videos on TT as well, TikTok as well, in case you all are interested in just learning more stuff. I've been sending out like free contracts. I've been really, really helping the community understand and break down what it is. So again, make sure you read the description. Let me know if this was helpful and if y'all have any questions.